Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. LeBron James makes return to action in trademark fashion after 2-game absence. LeBron James' hopes for an Ironman 82-game season crumbled earlier this week after missing 2 games with a nagging foot injury, but the slumping superstar used this rare hiatus to return to his sensational best. Just 2 minutes into his return Sunday evening, James rolled back the years with a viscous drive to the rim before immediately sprinting back on defense for a vintage chase-down block, swatting the ball out of bounds and bringing the partisan Laker crowd to its feet. James finished with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, fueling a stunning Anthony Davis performances as Los Angeles bested a surging Memphis squad, and highlighted the benefits of his brief hiatus. "I mean, it's very rare, to be honest, if you can get a break in the schedule like that," James said. "So it was a very easy decision for myself and for the team and for my trainer to be able to take advantage of those days just for everything. So, it was great." James, the NBA's all-time leader in scoring, entered a remarkable 22nd season of professional basketball, tying Vince Carter for the most in league history. A vocal critic of the increased load management measures imposed on him across 6 years in Los Angeles, James entered this historic season with a lofty goal: to play in all 82 regular season games. James had remarkably defied his age throughout the latter half of his lengthy NBA career, and despite a rapidly approaching 40th birthday, he began the 2024-25 season with the same devastatingly efficient standard. However, a 6-game stretch entering into December saw James shoot just 37% from the floor and go 4 games without a three, both first since his rookie season, and had both the superstar forward and coach J.J. Redick reconsidering the Ironman plan. "I don't know that's in the best interest of him and us if he does that, but if he's feeling well and feeling good, then he should play," Redick said. "But we obviously want to manage that as best we can." James was similarly non-committal about his 82-game aim, saying that's a goal, but we'll see, James said. "It's something I ain't discussing right now." After improved performances in Los Angeles's December 4th and December 6th games against Miami and Atlanta respectively, James was held out of matchups last weekend and on Friday before returning against Memphis. Los Angeles's victory over the Grizzlies snapped a tough stretch of 4 losses in 5 outings, with the Lakers hoping to recapture their early season best to end the calendar yet. Ahead of the NBA Cup semifinals, the Inside the NBA took the show outside for a live audience and brought on special guests. Today, ESPN personality and host of First Take Stephen A. Smith was the honored guest. As usual, verbal jabs were thrown which led to a 3-point shootout between Shaquille O'Neal and Smith. In the 1,207 games that Diesel played in, he had a career 3-point percentage of 4.5%. For comparison's sake, I tried to find Smith's 3-point percentage during his college ball days, but couldn't find anything. Once Stephen A. left his feet, I knew it wasn't going to be a bucket either. That 0-1 quickly turned into a 0/3 to a 0/4 for both Shaq and Stephen A. "I'll give $10,000 to your charity if you hit the rim," Kenny Smith said to Shaq. The legendary center went on to miss the rim. After one of Shaq's shots went in and out, all hope seemed lost. Before the crew could wrap up the horrendous contest, Stephen A. finally nailed a 3-pointer while Shaq made contact with the rim once more. As for the semi-final games, the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Atlanta Falcons 110-102. The dynamic duo of Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard have finally been clicking. The Greek Freak went 10 for 15 from the field for 32 points, had 14 boards, 9 assists and 4 blocks, while Dame Time went 8 of 21 for 25 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists and 3 steals in the win. LeBron James reps Oregon kicks during Lakers' victory over Grizzlies. NBA star LeBron James wore a pair of Oregon basketball shoes during the Los Angeles Lakers' 116-110 win over the Memphis Grizzlies at Crypto.com Arena on Sunday, December 15. While Anthony Davis recorded a 40-point double-double to fuel the win, James tallied 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists while repping the Oregon colorway of his LeBron 22 piece. The pair James wore on Sunday matched the Ducks team-issued Nike LeBron 22 piece, featuring a primarily green upper with a large, yellow Nike swoosh. While Oregon's men's basketball team is currently ranked number 10 in the nation at 10-1 according to the AP poll, its football team is gearing up for the first-ever 12-team college football playoff as the number 1 seed. In other words, James was repping one of the country's trendiest collegiate athletic programs on Sunday. The NBA veteran has worn Oregon-themed shoes several times in the past. Back in February, during the Lakers' 125-111 win over the Detroit Pistons, James rocked the Nike LeBron 21 Oregon Ducks colorway, which featured a yellow upper and a green swoosh. James will be in action again on Thursday as the Lakers travel to take on the Sacramento Kings. Meanwhile, the Ducks men's basketball team will take on Stanford at the San Jose tip-off on Saturday. Tip-off is set for 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lakers news: LeBron James stresses that foot injury is not behind him. After missing the Los Angeles Lakers' last 2 games due to left foot soreness, LeBron James returned to the court on Sunday night, helping earn an impressive 6-point victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. LeBron did a little bit of everything in his return game, finishing with 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocks in the win. Of course, the main question after the game is how his foot is feeling and how much good his time off did him. James had 9 days off in between games, and while it undoubtedly allowed him to heal up a couple of things bothering him, the foot issue is one that he will be dealing with going forward. It's an everyday thing. It's not behind me. It's an everyday thing, LeBron said of his foot soreness. It's something that's been lingering for the last few years, but I was able to do a lot of great things to reassure. Not only that, but I got kneed in the quad in the Atlanta game at the end of regulation by AD, so that is now back to 100%. But that was over probably 3 days ago. Still pretty soon, but I'm able to get that back to 100. So that was great. So I was able to heal a lot of ailments as well. James being as close to 100% as possible and performing at a high level is necessary for this Lakers team to compete in this extremely tough Western Conference. Even for someone who defies all things that should be possible at this stage of his career, LeBron needs to be managed overall in order to ensure he can play at the level the Lakers need. With the amount of miles on his body, there are just certain aches and pains that won't go away for LeBron. As he said, this foot issue is one that has been bothering him for years. But he and the Lakers staff must figure out the best way for him to manage and deal with these things while still performing, and all of these days off greatly helped on that front. JJ Redick says Lakers communicating with LeBron James about managing workload. LeBron James has always been adamant about wanting to play in every game as long as he's healthy. While Lakers head coach JJ Redick agrees that should always be the goal, he also understands that sometimes a break is needed, and he and the Lakers are continually communicating with LeBron about giving him those. Let me start by saying I think every player should want to play in every game. That should be the goal, Redick said. Within an NBA season, for guys that play heavy minutes, there are times when you need a break. It's just a reality. Later in my career, specifically with Philly, they would come to me and say, "Hey, you're running hot. Let's look ahead at the schedule, there's a back-to-back here, do you think one of these games would make sense for you to rest?" I think we're trying to do that. We've communicated with LeBron, with Mike, Mancius, Leroy, Sims, Rob, Pelinka. It's not like these conversations haven't been happening already. Blockbuster trade proposal sees Lakers move LeBron James to disliked West rival. One of the biggest storylines over the past week or so in the NBA has been about what the Los Angeles Lakers could do with star LeBron James. While James hasn't mentioned anything about wanting out of Los Angeles, there has been plenty of speculation about what his future holds. With James only having a year or two left in the NBA before he retires, some have started to think about him moving on from the Lakers. Los Angeles hasn't been very good this season, so instead of James wasting his last playing days on a sinking ship, maybe he could try for one more title. In a new trade proposal by Eddie Bitar of Fadeaway World, the Lakers do indeed decide to trade James. They send him to a hated rival in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets. Lakers receive Michael Porter Jr., Christian Braun, Zeke Naji, 2031 first-round pick, DN. The Denver Nuggets making a move for LeBron James would be a statement of their championship ambitions, taking their already stacked roster to another level. Pairing LeBron with reigning three-time MVP Nikola Jokic would give Denver an all-time duo capable of dominating both ends of the court. The 2031 first-round pick may seem far off, but it offers future value as the Nuggets' championship window could begin to close as key players age. From a Lakers perspective, this package has some solid young talent, but it's likely a tough sell without a more immediate star in return for LeBron. Sending James to the Nuggets would hurt, but the return would be good for the team. Landing Porter Jr. would be a nice consolation prize for Los Angeles, giving them a potential building block to work around. Porter Jr. has tormented the Lakers in their playoff matchups, so they know him very well. His size and shooting ability could be lethal for the Lakers to move forward with. Braun would be a good role player to build the roster around, and he showed his worth in the Nuggets' title run a few years ago. His energy and defense could be fun for Los Angeles. Additionally, the first-round pick from Denver could be valuable. Nobody knows where the Nuggets will be come 2031, so it could be a highly coveted draft pick. All in all, the Lakers likely won't trade James. But it certainly would be interesting if they even considered the notion. Lakers' obstacle in Jimmy Butler trade revealed. The Los Angeles Lakers' 2024-25 performance has been a mixed bag, to say the least. J.J. Redick's team is 14-12 on the season and back in a play-in tournament spot following Sunday's hard-fought 116-110 win over the Memphis Grizzlies. Although momentum seems to be back, the Lakers still haven't won back-to-back outings since the middle of November, suggesting that LeBron James and company could use more help from GM Rob Pelinka. The Lakers have been looking to add a third star to play alongside James and Anthony Davis for a few seasons now. One potential target this season is Jimmy Butler, who could be on his way out of Miami if the Heat don't change their stance regarding a potential contract extension. While adding Butler to Redick's lineup would likely boost the Lakers' championship outlook, one NBA insider has listed a serious hurdle in any potential deal. "I would assume that the Lakers kicked the tires on a potential Butler trade," Buha said. The potential cost for Jimmy Butler would be a unprotected first-round pick or two. That's a potential move I think the Lakers would be open to. But as great as Butler would look playing next to James and Davis, a trade could be easier said than done, according to Buha, for one reason: money. A potential trade does get tricky because Jimmy's making so much money, Buha said. Just matching the salary from a contract perspective gets pretty tricky for the Lakers. Butler's cap hit currently sits at $48.7 million as he plays the season year of the four-year, $184 million contract he signed back in August 2021. The Lakers have the sixth smallest amount of remaining cap space, per Spotrac, meaning they'll have to get rid of multiple players if they want to bring in the six-time All-Star forward. With that in mind, Los Angeles could offer Miami various names, including D'Angelo Russell, $18.6 million, Rui Hachimura, $17 million, Gabe Vincent, $11 million, and Jared Vanderbilt, $10.7 million. Butler, 35, is a battle-proven forward who's been one of basketball's best players of the last decade, proven by his making 5 All-NBA and All-Defensive teams throughout his career. He was always a great player, but his game reached a new level after joining the Heat, having averaged 21.2 points, 6.1 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and 1.7 steals in the last 6 seasons. Having said that, the ex-Marquette product's production is down this year. Appearing in 18 games so far, Butler is only averaging 18.6 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.7 assists, while his three-point percentage has dropped from 41.4% to 36.0% from last year. He is shooting a career-best 55% from the floor, though, proving that he's still valuable to any contending team even if his best days are behind him. It's clear that the Lakers need help on both sides of the ball. Butler's reliable two-way play would easily help address those issues while ensuring that Los Angeles becomes a legitimate contender in the Western Conference. For now, the Lakers own the 14th best NBA championship odds, plus 4,100 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Having said that, those odds could potentially skyrocket if Pelinka decides to pull the trigger on a Butler deal with the Heat before the February 6 trade deadline. Lakers now favorites to land Lonzo Ball in a potential trade. Ball was picked by the Lakers with the number 2 overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, but he only spent 2 seasons with the franchise before he was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans in the deal that brought Anthony Davis to Los Angeles. After missing the last 2 seasons, the 2022-23 campaign and the 2023-24 campaign, due to injury, Ball has returned to the Bulls' rotation in the 2024-25 season. He's playing 17.0 minutes per game, across 9 games, and is averaging 5.4 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game while shooting 37.2% from the field and 34.3% from three-point range. Ball is in the final season of his contract for the Bulls, which was a 4-year deal that he signed prior to the 2021-22 season. Due to injury, Ball has appeared in just 44 total games for the Bulls. Chicago seems to be looking to enter a rebuilding phase, as it moved DeMar DeRozan in a sign-and trade with the Sacramento Kings and San Antonio Spurs in the offseason. Since Ball is entering the last season of his deal and has not been healthy for most of his Chicago tenure, it makes sense that the Bulls would want to move on from him if they can get anything for him in the trade market. The Lakers could be in the market for help at the point guard position, especially if they deem Ball as an upgrade over either D'Angelo Russell or Gabe Vincent. Russell is in the final season of his contract, while Vincent has struggled with the Lakers since signing a 3-year deal prior to last season. This season, Vincent is averaging just 3.9 points per game while shooting 34.5% from the field and 27.9% from 3. The Lakers currently hold the number 10 seed in the Western Conference with a 14-12 record. Los Angeles has dropped 6 of its last 10 games, and it may need a deal to spark a run to get the team back into contention for a top 6 seed in the West. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Lonzo Ball? Leave your opinion in the comments.